I'm willing to meet my creator and answer for every shot that I took.
I'll pick it up. Promise.
Welcome back to Byline. I'm Brian Lilly. That's a scene from the box office blockbuster American Sniper. Despite a record-setting opening weekend, the movie's been the source of controversy in Hollywood. You've heard the criticism from the likes of Michael Moore and Seth Rogen. In fact, let's bring up their tweets right now. Michael Moore just saying that, well, American Sniper, this is Seth Rogen. American Sniper kind of reminds me of the movie that's showing in the third act of Inglourious Basterds, which is a Nazi propaganda film, by the way. And then Michael Moore says, my uncle killed by sniper in World War II. We were taught snipers were cowards. We'll shoot you in the back. Snipers aren't heroes, and invaders are worse. But Sun News contributor Gavin McInnes has a column at tackymag.com that says he's got a different problem with it. Gavin joins us now from New York. Gavin, your problem with American Sniper and another movie, Unbroken, isn't that they try and portray Chris Kyle as a hero. It's that they kind of take away the human aspects of him, the stuff that might have been seen as negative in a bid to make him superhuman.
Yeah, I think I might be the only person on the side of Chris Kyle as a hero that wants to see his faults. The guy was a braggart. He lied about pegging off looters in Katrina. He lied about fighting Jesse Ventura. I'm a big boy. I can handle that and still see him as a hero.
Okay, so Chris Kyle, I don't think you're the only one. I think Liz Braun had a review in The Star saying the same thing, that he's not as complex a person. People are complex. They're multifaceted. And you can be a hero and still have these faults.
Yes, it's traumatizing going to war, too. I don't want Superman. I'm not picking up a comic book. Louis Zampaneri in Unbroken was a flawed human being, and that's what made him so great.
Okay, explain the story of Zampaneri. I don't know this story as well as Chris Kyle, but this is a guy who had a rough childhood and ended up being the toughest kid or toughest prisoner in a Japanese prisoner of war camp. Explain some of that background.
So Unbroken was totally sanitized by Angelina Jolie. They cut out the fact that he was a horrible kid, a nightmare of a kid, a truant, terrorized police, and they cut out after the war when he was an alcoholic who beat his wife. Both of those are relevant because his rough childhood is what led him to fight authority and stand up to the POW guards. And the trauma he suffered in the war is what led him to Christianity and saved his life from alcoholism. All of this is part of his heroic story, but we're so weak now and we're so scared of offending anyone that we churn out these bland heroes that are not as heroic as they could be.
Look, I take issue with one part in your column that you say they sanitized, Hollywood sanitized Chris Kyle's story so as not to offend Republicans that would cheer for him. Look, Hollywood's never against offending Republicans. I don't think that that's the case. Was Kyle as open in his book, or was he this open about his faults in his book? I think he painted a more complex picture of himself, a bit more honest.
Yeah, he was harder on himself than Hollywood was. But if you criticize Chris Kyle, as Seth Rogen and Michael Moore just learned, you get $105 million of Americans raining down upon you.
For valid reason with those two. I mean, Seth Rogen comparing Chris Kyle to a Nazi, Michael Moore calling him a coward. Give me a break. These are guys who, Seth Rogen had just had the world come to his defense over a stupid little movie about killing Kim Jong-un.
You're right,
and then he turns around. So, look, these guys deserve the criticism that they got. But I don't think that Hollywood's afraid of annoying Republicans. Maybe it is, like you say early on in your column, that they just want to believe in the comic book version of everyone, that people are always good, not bad.
Maybe. I mean, I agree with Kid Rock that Michael Moore and Seth Rogen need a punch in the face. I'm just saying that we're so scared of maybe not just offending Republicans. I think the Christianity was taken out of Unbroken because it was just too, I don't know, Western. There's this fear of audacity where we just tunnel in these guys with nothing offensive about them. And maybe it wasn't to offend Republicans. I think it was. I think it was this need to simplify everything to comic book levels. And look how popular comic book heroes are in Hollywood. It's pathetic.
All right. The fact is that American Sniper's doing very well. Unbroken did not do all that well. Good movie worth checking out, though. I haven't seen American Sniper. That's my plan for this weekend. But what about Unbroken?
American Sniper is like doing cocaine. It is an exhilarating, awesome, wild ride. Unbroken sucks. It is a perfect example of what has happened to the idea of a hero. We've lost our grit.
Gavin, you may be the only person on this show to ever compare something in a positive way to doing cocaine. Thanks for dropping by. We'll check in with you again on your next cocaine-like movie review. All the headlines you need to follow, sunnewsnetwork.ca. Men's Wild. More.